Roots of equation, false position method. This is also called as a regular falsi method. A regular falsi method, let the root of the equation f of x is equal to 0 lies between x0 and x1, that is f of x1 into f of x0 is less than 0, then x2 is equal to x0 minus x1 minus x0 divided by f of x1 minus f of x0 bracket complete into f of x0. So condition here it is given. So f of x1 dot f of x0 is less than 0. Then x2 is equal to x0 minus into the bracket x1 minus x0 divided by f of x1 minus f of x0 into f of x0. In general, see the formula, xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus 1 minus into the bracket xn minus xn minus 1 divided by f of xn minus f of xn minus 1 bracket complete into f of xn minus 1. Now we will see one example for this method. Find real root of equation 3x plus sin x minus e raised to x is equal to 0. Correct to 4 decimal places using a regular falsi method. Now first we have to write the equation. So equation is 3x plus sin x minus e raised to x is equal to 0. This equation you have to write. So equation it is given like this, f of x is equal to 3x plus sin x minus e raised to x is equal to 0. Now you have to find the root for this equation. So first you can put x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0 in this equation. So f of 0 is equal to 3 into x, x it is a 0 plus sin 0 minus e raised to 0 is equal to minus 1. So answer it is a negative. Then we have to put 1 into this equation. So 3 into 1 plus sin of 1 minus e raised to 1 is equal to plus 1.123. Now this answer it is a positive answer. So we can say that root lies in between 0 and 1. Now this is the iterative process. To minimize the iteration, we have to take in between values from 0 to 1. Now you can see this figure, f of 0. When you put 0 in this equation, we will get the answer here minus 1. And when you put f of 1 into this equation, we will get here positive answer, it is plus 1.123. So root lies in between 0 and 1. To minimize the iteration, we have to take the values like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 and so on. Now these values 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and 0.4 you have to put in this equation and we have to find the answer. So first you have to put 0.1, f of 0.1 is equal to 3 into 0.1 plus sin of 0.1 minus e raised to 0.1 is equal to minus 0.705. So this answer it is a negative. Then we have to put 0.2, f of 0.2 is equal to 3 into 0.2 plus sin of 0.2 minus e raised to 0.2 is equal to minus 0.422. Again this answer it is a negative answer. F of 0.3 is equal to 3 into 0.3 plus sin of 0.3 minus e raised to 0.3 is equal to minus 0.154. Again this answer it is a negative. F of 0.4 is equal to 3 into 0.4 plus sin of 0.4 minus e raised to 0.4 is equal to plus 0.097. Now this answer it is a positive. So we can say that root lies in between 0.4 and 0.3. So when you putting this 0.3 into this equation, we will get here minus sign. So for this 0.3 you can take here x0, and when we are putting this 0.4 into this equation, answer it is a positive. So for this you can take x1. So for the negative value, this variable it is x0 and this positive answer 0.4 it is a x1. Now we have to write the formula. First iteration x2, root lies in between x0 and x1. See the condition, f of x0 into f of x1 it is less than 0. So x0 it is 0.3 and x1 it is 0.4. Answer of 0.3 it is minus 0.154 and answer 0.4 it is plus 0.097. So this is the negative value, this is the positive value. So root lies in between x0 and x1. Now you can see the formula. X2 is equal to, so this negative answer for x0. So first you can take the x0 minus second term, it is x1, into the bracket you can take here x1 minus x0 divided by f of x1 same term minus f of x0 into the bracket f of x0. All the values are known, so x2 is equal to 0.3 minus into the bracket x1 it is a 0.4 minus x0 it is a 0.3 divided by f of x1 it is plus value it is 0.097 you can put here minus f of x0, so f of x0 it is minus 0.154 bracket complete into f of x0 it is minus 0.154. Solve this. After solving we will get the answer x2 is equal to 0.3612. Now this x2 again we have to put into the equation and we have to find the value. So f of 0.3612 is equal to 3 into 0.3612 plus sine of 0.3612 minus e raised to 0.3612 is equal to plus 0.0019. Now this answer it is a positive answer. So this is the x2. So when we are putting the x2 into this equation we will get here positive answer. Now you have to go for the second iteration. So you have to find the x3. So root lies in between negative and positive value. So x2 it is a positive, this value it is a positive value, and you can see here x1 here it is again positive value, and for the x0 this value it is a negative value. So root lies in between positive and negative value. So x3 root lies in between x0 and x2. So x2 here it is a positive value and x0 here it is a negative value. Check the condition, f of x0 into f of x2 it is less than 0. x0, for this x0 we are getting here negative value. So when writing the formula x3 is equal to, first you have to take here x0, because when you are putting the value of x0 it is 0.3 into this equation, answer it is a negative, so you can take here x0 minus into the bracket second term here it is x2, so x2 minus x0 divided by f of x2 minus f of x0 bracket complete into f of x0. All the values are known. x3 is equal to 0.3 minus into the bracket x2 it is 0.3612 minus x0 it is 0.3 divided by f of x2 it is 0.0019 minus f of x0 it is minus 0.154 bracket complete into f of x0 it is minus 0.154. Do the calculation. After calculation x3 is equal to 0.3604. Again this value you have to put in this equation. So f of 0.3604 is equal to 3 into 0.3604 plus sine of 0.364 minus e raised to 0.3604. Answer it is minus 0.00005. Now this answer it is a negative. So x3 0.3604, when we are putting this value into this equation we will get here negative value. Now we go for the third iteration. You have to find the x4. So x4 it is a root of, this is a negative value and you can say above value. So this is the negative and this one it is a positive value. x2 it is a positive value. So root lies in between x3 and x2. So x3 here it is a negative answer, so we have to take first, and x2 it is a positive answer. So from x3 you have to minus x2. So see the formula. So third iteration x4, root lies in between x3 and x2. Condition here it is f of x3 into f of x2, it should be less than 0. For this x3 we are getting answer negative, so we can write here x3 first minus into the bracket x2 minus x3 divided by f of x2 minus f of x3 into f of x3. All the values are known. x4 is equal to 0.3604 minus into the bracket 0.3612 minus 0.3604 divided by 0.0019 minus into the bracket minus sign 0.00005 total bracket complete into f of x3 it is minus 0.00005. Do the calculation, we will get the answer here x4 is equal to 0.3604. Now you can compare this equation, this x3 it is 0.3604 and x4 it is again 0.3604. So for the x3 and for the x4 we are getting the same answer, then we have to stop. This is the final answer. So root of 3x plus sin x minus e raised to x is 0.3604. Thank you for watching the video.